through a dark period, Fred, with COVID and with death and not being able to bury our loved ones, not be able to have our kids in school and do all the things that we do. And I think it's like coming out of the darkness, and Vice President Harris has given us a ray of light. Do I think the campaign boils down to just that? No, of course not. But I think that having something that makes you hopeful and inspired versus being angry and upset and offended all the time, and I don't see that motivating people to get out and vote.
You know, it's interesting on a lot of the Sunday morning shows, from Reince Priebus to Lindsey Graham. I mean, they're calling this joy, the use of the word joy, as like gimmicky. How do you respond to that kind of criticism? That's
very typical from that bunch. That is an angry, maggot out, upset all the time, angry and bothered about everything all the time. So they don't live in a place of joy. They don't live in a place of exuberance. And maybe that's what's wrong with the country. That's why we're so divided, that we've had leaders who divide us and pit us against one another instead of trying to bring out the best in us, our better angels. And I feel like Walz and Harris are on to something. Look at the crowds. I mean, it's like Obama. It's bigger than Obama, I think, Fred.
Yeah, and I'm asking you that because you've been a longtime Republican, but, as in the last time we talked, you're kind of changing your point of view about a lot of things. And in your AJC right, you remind everyone that this really is a historic time on so many levels. And what does it feel like for you in your lifetime to have, you talked about in your 20s, you met, Shirley Chisholm, the first woman to seek the Democratic nomination, and then to see along the way the ushering in of other women in politics, Geraldine Ferraro, Hillary Clinton, who did win the nomination, and now Kamala Harris accepting the nomination.
I mean, it's an amazing time to be a woman, right? Vice President Harris, Soror Harris, is an age cohort. She's only a few years older, and she's achieved the pinnacle of her career. If she were to stop at vice president, she's already done something extraordinary. But, I've lived to see the first black president, the first woman on the Supreme Court, the first black woman on the Supreme Court. I mean, all these historic things are pretty amazing, and it does feel good to see a woman be not just taken seriously as Hillary Clinton was, but I think Vice President Harris has a real shot, more than a real shot. I think she's not the underdog, actually. I think she's in the lead. I think Trump is the underdog, and I think this is flipped on its head. I think the history has been downplayed a little bit, Fred, by the Harris team, and I think that's smart. I think Hillary played it up a lot more, and Vice President Harris is more focused on the joy and what she's going to bring to unite the country.
The state of Georgia, it's become a vital state, on the road to the White House. During the DNC, the Trump-Vance ticket seemed to think so as well. J.D. Vance, popped into a donut shop in South Georgia's Valdosta. Take a listen to, I don't know, do you call this an awkward interaction? But take a listen and watch.
I'm J.D. Vance. I'm running for vice president this year.
Okay.
We're going to do 2 dozen.
Okay.
Yep. And just a random assortment of stuff here. How long are you working?
I've been here since the beginning of July.
Okay.
For this year.
Okay. Good. How about you, sir?
Almost 2 years.
Okay. Good. How long is it?
Everything.
Just everything, yeah. I mean, a lot of glazed here, some sprinkle stuff, some of these cinnamon rolls, just whatever makes sense.
And so, retail politics is really important. I mean, maybe this didn't give the results that he and his camp were looking for, but later on this week, Harris and Walz are going to be in South Georgia. How do they make sure that they get better results when they are having FaceTime with just ordinary folks?
Fred, I wish you had shown the clip with Vice President nominee Walz and his wife walking into a donut shop outside of Chicago after the convention, and the reception was entirely different. The energy was entirely different. To my point, J.D. Vance has this kind of awkward darkness about him, this kind of like gruffness. It's not warm energy. It's like, when you saw the dog at the firehouse when Vice President Harris walked in and the dog's just laying down and rolling around and all over her. Animals have good instincts and people have good instincts, and I think that it matters a lot. I think you're going to see the energy that you saw at the convention when they go to Georgia later this week. It's palpable. You can feel it. Again, do I think that means that she's won the election. I do not, but I think it's a big thing I'd rather have in my favor than to not have people turning out and be excited about me.
All right, Sophia Nelson, thank you so much. Of course, I remember the AKA thing, but the childless chicks for Harris, I would have remembered that. But
Girl,
now
you did. Go look
now
at the
I'm
clip.
definitely going to remember that one. That was good. Okay.
See you, Fred.
Thanks so much, Sophia.